Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Jeff Ronningen with Pure Storage, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Dan Whitacre, Senior Director of Kroger Labs and Tech Transformation at the Kroger Company. So Dan, thank you for being with us today. And to kick it off, please provide us a short overview of your role, key areas of responsibility, and a brief description of Kroger Labs for those who may not be familiar.
Be happy to do that, Jeff. And thanks for inviting me. Thanks for making me part of this interview. I've been deeply involved in the Chief Data Officer Forum in the MIT a CDO IQ event for quite some time. You may not know this. I chair the Cincinnati Chief Data Officer Forum here, and I've helped start several forums in other cities. But anyway, back to your question. My role is I'm accountable for Kroger Labs, basically. And what Kroger Labs is really an innovation ecosystem. What we do there is we'll explore emerging technologies that are not normal in an IT department right now, and figure out how to best utilize them, how they might be rolled out into the organization, what are the appropriate processes and so forth, and do they work? So we'll work with artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, context computing, video analytics, part of artificial intelligence, but we kind of think of it separately, streaming analytics, and so forth. These are the types of things that are coming up that we need to figure out how to use. The role of Kroger Labs itself is it's a multi-purpose thing. There's actual facilities. We have a facility at the 1819 Innovation Hub. We also have a facility at NKU, and because they're next to the university, it's multi-purpose. One is I have to be able to accomplish things. We build things that Kroger will use. Two, I want to create a brand and identity for Kroger as a technology and innovation system. You might think, most people think of Kroger as a grocery company, right? And when you think of grocery, they say, well, how technical can that be? It's actually a very, very complex organization between what goes in the floor behind me here, supply chain, logistics, and merchandising, and all that type of thing. There's thousands of things going on, thousands of decisions made every single day, and so it becomes very complex. But people don't realize that. I'll tell you a story. Part of my job is to help recruit. And I've been into college classes before COVID, and I've asked people before, and these are software engineers, these are technical people, right? Who wants to work for Google? Everybody raises their hand. Who wants to work for Facebook? Everybody raises their hand. Who wants to work for Kroger? Somebody raise their hand, please. Because they really just don't realize the technology and innovation that goes on. So part of my job and part of the role of the labs is to create that brand. Since we're next to the university, the other part of my job is to create partnerships with students, partnerships with professors. Since we're housed at the 1819 Innovation Hub, which also you'll find many other companies there, we'll create partnerships with other commercial companies, or we'll create partnerships with government organizations or NGO organizations. So it's about creating an innovation ecosystem. If you're really going to excel in any industry right now, you really have to embrace a diversity of thinking. And to embrace that diversity of thinking, you have to talk to other organizations. You have to talk to other people with different experiences, with different expertises. And so that's what we do within Kroger Labs, is create that innovation ecosystem. Kind of long-winded, but I get kind of excited about it because it really is. This is an important thing to do. I've been very fortunate over my career to work for multiple industries and for multiple companies, and just understanding things that happen in other industries that can be applied to your industry. A lot of that is really not discovered that easily unless you're out there looking for it. So it's important for Kroger to have relationships across industries and see what other people can teach us and perhaps what they can teach us. Did I forget anything on that?
No, that was good, and that touched on a lot of the topics I want to ask about and expand upon. So as a follow up to that, Kroger Labs is obviously leading the introduction and the adoption of several technology trends, as you mentioned, digital everything, data analytics, AI, ML, and other technology trends. So talk about the cultural transitions and attitudes within the company that need to align with these changes and adoption of new technologies.
Cultural transformation, that's one of those words that can have many different meanings, right? So let's think about it this way. In typical organizations, in typical development organizations, most of those organizations are geared to accomplish a goal. I'm going to start a project. I know what the result of this project should be. This is the timeline that I have to get there. This is how much it's going to cost to get there. When you're going down the path of things like artificial intelligence or emerging technologies that you don't necessarily know how to use, you're not always sure of the outcome. You're not always sure that it's going to be successful at all. And so taking that step forward, which is a different perspective on how to approach a project, is a challenge. We're going to do different things differently now. We're going to take risks. We may not fail every time. In fact, we may not be successful every time. In fact, it's good to fail sometimes. And so developing that culture to take that chance, developing the culture to understand that this may have been a good idea when we first thought about it, but after a few experiments, maybe it's not, and you have to know when to quit, right? This is really not going to work out, and so let's stop this and go on to another thing. Cultures from changing technologies, that's always hard because people have to learn something new, and it takes time, it takes risks, it keeps them from accomplishing their goals. And so making sure that they have room to learn that they get access to education, they get time to understand it is very important as you're going through a transformation to emerging technologies.
Awesome. Well, I wish you success. And that concludes my questions for today. So thank you, Dan Whitacre, for joining me today. And for those of you out there listening, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. And Dan, I really enjoyed it and really informative. And I thought your questions were just full of useful information and insights. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Jeff. It's good talking to you.